Hard Knocks debuted last night, and Hard Knocks is a football thing.
Yeah.
Hard Knocks is a football time thing. Last night, we stayed up way too late.
Way too late.
10 o'clock, we need to move that thing earlier, especially if you're a mock subscriber. Let's go ahead and let us in on that about 8, 9 p.m.
Bingo.
You know, some of us have a baby, and, the whole thing, and we're old. But nonetheless, once you see Hard Knocks and you hear that sound, and you hear Liv Shriver's voice, and we got to see him for the first time in a long time. He should have certainly ironed that incredible shirt he had on. He had a great appearance in there. But whenever you're watching that, it's all the way back into football season. We're in training camps. We're in meetings. We're in practices. There's a little bit of this. There's a little bit of that. It means that we are just
29 days.
Oh, wow.
From NFL football. Whoa. Thought it was a good Hard Knocks episode last night. You know, Hard Knocks hasn't really been good for like 10 years.
Just about.
Okay, Hard Knocks kind of launched into superstardom because we were getting never-before-seen footage of what an NFL training camp is like. The amount of people that played football growing up, that had dreams and aspirations of making it to the NFL, got a chance and a glimpse at what it was like to actually be in the NFL. What are these buildings like? Fans that never saw what was happening behind the scenes. Fans of football never played football, don't know what football culture is. Hard Knocks introduce you to what it is like in the actual football world. Now, obviously, there was things that were held back because the NFL Films is certainly in connection with the NFL, and we need to protect the shield at all times. But it was a raw look at what was going on. And when social media started taking over, and teams started like taking over content for what they're kind of showing to the world, Hard Knocks kind of
a little bit.
Kind of got diluted. We got desensitized to all the information that we were learning from the Hard Knocks, all the footage and all the access we were seeing. All of a sudden, we're getting that every single day. Let alone whenever players are starting now doing their own Q&A, or when players are going to things, we're learning about stuff directly from the source as opposed to a third-party NFL Films telling the story on HBO once a week. So for a long time, we thought Hard Knocks is dead.
Losing his fastball.
Has been.
We'd watch, like, hey, this year could be good. This year could be good. And then we start watching, and we're like, oh,
no.
This is crop. This is absolute crop. I'll go to their Twitter account, this team's Twitter account, and there's 6 things done much better than what they're doing just because they know who's in the building. They know everything as opposed to NFL Films coming in there and do that. I thought last night's episode was a good episode. Now, people are going to say that we're going to say it's a good episode because Aaron Rodgers is on it, but I would like to let everybody know Aaron Rodgers never does that type of shit. Aaron Rodgers was mic'd up last night. I think that's the first time, long time, that NFL Films had an opportunity to get any footage of Aaron Rodgers while he's mic'd up because they ask him to wear a mic like every other quarterback in the NFL, and he says, fuck no. No.
Every time.
Every single time. So I think there was a little bit of a fear from NFL Films that they are the keepers of NFL's history pretty much. So whenever these Hall of Fames happen, when people pass away, when people go on to do anything, there's always a package that NFL Films puts together, and it's like a thank you from the NFL for everything that person did behind the scenes. Mic'd up moments, their greatest plays, little interactions, other people talking about them. That's NFL Films Scorsese. That is what they do. And there was a little bit of a worry, I do believe, because Aaron Rodgers never mic'd up. We're never going to have anything on a guy who's certainly going to be a first ballot Hall of Famer.
For sure.
A guy who's going to be talked about as a Mount Rushmore football player forever. And he's such a private person, such a no, that they didn't really have anything. So whenever they forced their way into the Jets training camp, I think there was certainly an aspect of it like, hey, Aaron kind of forced to give us stuff. Unless he does what 14-year NFL vet Adam Pac-Man Jones and the Cincinnati Bengals did to the Hard Knocks, which is actually flip cameras off while they're doing, hey, will you do an interview? No. Get the fuck out of my face. So unless Aaron did that, they were going to get some sort of footage that I assume they would use forever because they don't really have a lot. Instead, Aaron bought in completely.
Big time.
Let me meet that voice of God guy. Let me go ahead and meet the voice. Let me talk to Liv Shriver.
Chilling.
Telling Hackett, hey, don't be an asshole. Go talk to this guy.
Voice of God.
Hey, you're the voice of God. You're not even saying hello, make him feel welcome. He's a little bit nervous to be here.
Come on.
You're being an asshole. Like, everything that he kind of just let them film, I think showcased a different side of Aaron to a lot of people. I think there's a lot of people going like, hey, this guy, I thought he was like, this guy's supposed to be a big piece of shit.
He's standoffish asshole.
But instead, as a teammate, I mean, everything he's saying. And also, it's not just like he's buddy-buddy with everybody. There's also a lot of like, hey, need this. I thought last night's episode was great. I thought it was an incredible. Now, you know, the biggest moment in our show's history.
The elephant in the room.
The biggest moment in our show's history. Top 10 stream in the history of the internet.
And YouTube Sports' history as well, biggest moment.
Biggest ever. You know, and we are very thankful that Aaron chose to do that. And obviously, we have a good relationship. he breaks the news he's going to the Jets. They kind of gave that to Colin Cowherd. Just kind of gave that on Hard Knocks to Colin Cowherd, and I think Craig Carton and Nick Wright as well.
Sure.
So, NFL Films thought we had a good relationship. What the fuck is that? How is that? So literally as I'm watching, I'm like, oh, okay, all right, sweet. Sweet.
Saving it?
Fuck these people. What are we even? And then I started watching the episode. I'm like, yeah, good episode, though. Ain't nothing I can say about it all. But Colin Cowherd obviously yesterday said that a dead quarterback wouldn't be able to win the Super Bowl. And rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. And at night, he's the one that breaks the Aaron Rodgers to the Jets news because NFL Films decides that on Hard Knocks.
Really?
So that was quite a day for him, I'd assume, even though he kind of stays above it. And I think you saw Joker down at the grocery store, like it was methy at a Publix. And I'm a big fan of Colin Cowherd. But as I was watching it, I thought what he said yesterday, obviously very dumb.
Right.
Very.
For sure.
Ridiculous.
But whenever you're stepping in a batter's box every single day, you're going to say dumb stuff. I mean,
Absolutely.
I do that all the time. So, obviously everybody will move on from that, even though it did seem to be a bit insensitive, and rest in peace to Dwayne Haskins. But then it ends the night like, this guy's breaking the news, that whole thing. So I was a little taken back. I was a little perturbed. Sent a text or two to NFL Films, people like, what the fuck?
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
You guys have a vendetta against?
What happened?
You guys want
You
to?
dropped the ball.
You guys want to? Are you guys trying to kill? What are we?
Yeah, going back
Is
to
Colin paying you directly? Is Nick Wright paying you directly? Is Craig Carton paying you directly?
What?
FS1.
What the fuck did I do?
Yeah.
What did I do?
Baffle?
What happened there? But they said that was not the case. There was a misunderstanding, a miscommunication, but it was obviously a start to the show. I was like, oh, no, I have to hate this episode.
Yeah.
And then as I started watching, I'm like, this is awesome.
Yeah, impossible.
Hard Knocks has their fastball again, I do believe.
Yep.
I think this season's going to be spectacular. And it was very hard not to start thinking like, oh, the Jets hype is real.
Oh, yeah. For sure.
Oh, they did a highlight reel of Aaron,
Yeah.
which I assume Aaron's very thankful for and did not expect. I think Aaron thought that these people would manipulate, twist his words. Like, literally, I think that's what he thought, because that's kind of happened to him throughout his entirety of being a public figure in the NFL, in the world. Instead, like the first 6 minutes, we're watching him just mid-season form pretty much, OTAs even back in there, just dealing, and then like a 55-yard ball into the net or whatever, and then Hackett and him like kind of talking shit back and forth, and then you see the reaction the team has to Aaron Rodgers being their teammate. I mean, they showed this clip from the defensive meeting room, and this is what the defensive coordinator had to say about the state of the New York Jets right now.
We sacked him. Yes, we did. There's no doubt. Guys, this is great work. Offense and defense going back and forth. This is a heavyweight bout right here. There is nowhere to go with this ball. Guys, you want to understand, just understand this. I don't give a fuck what goes down this year. We will always be in games, no matter what. We break some shoelaces and fuckers get a few points on us. Guys, we're going to be in every game. Guys, this is across the fucking field on the back shoulder. Look at this.
Listen to the team.
I don't know if there's any other human on earth that can make that fucking throw. He's our quarterback. He's ours. He's ours. Fucking
Yeah. There was a lot of that last night from the entire team, and it's like Saleh said that type of guy not only like on the field can boost your team, but like in the locker room, everybody's like, we have a chance. Like you heard him actually say, hey, every single game, if we happen to break some shoelaces, which means miss some tackles, and guys score on us, or we give up fucking 24, 28 points somehow, we're okay, because this guy is on it. And then you think to what was happening in Green Bay, and just like the huge differences and how it's all going. Then you start thinking about Aaron's mentals. Then Aaron has to be so grateful to be in a place that's like, all right, these people understand.
I get it.
These people are desperation pretty much. Saleh said last night, I never had a quarterback that was this good. Saleh, defensive coordinator, defensive mastermind. So they do judge the quarterback that's on the other side. Every single practice, meeting, play, everything like that. In Saleh, you can hear the relief. The defense coordinator, you hear the relief like, oh, hey, our offense might not fuck it up for us.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Our days of playing 70 plays, that shit is over with.
It feels like we got right? Everybody's like looking around the first couple of meetings like, huh? And they're like, yeah. Coaches are coming into the building happier.
Yeah.
Players are coming into the building happier. PR people are coming into the building happier. Equipment managers, athletic trainers. I think that's what we saw from Hard Knocks last night. And I think that type of information that we're receiving from Hard Knocks that we don't normally get is why Hard Knocks fastball is back, and why I tweeted like, watching Hard Knocks, the Jets are winning the Super Bowl. And I literally just looked over there. They were running it on, I think, Get Up. I think Greeny just read my tweet there. Now, I did set it up with saying, watching Hard Knocks, Jets are going to win the Super Bowl. And, it got like, there's a couple polls being done on my hot take, my cold take, this whole thing.
A lot of those.
People are like, this guy just predicted this is his Super Bowl favorite. It's like, well, I just wanted to send out there, like, watching Hard Knocks right now, like, everything they're putting out here about the Jets is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
Team looks good. Team looks invested. Coaches look happy. And Aaron looks like he wants to fucking go.
Yes.
And I loved it last night. The Toxic Table is here at Boston Connor, Connor's mullet. Ty Schmidt's here rocking a Win Reality baseball cap.
Goddamn right.
Nice.
Fits the head well.
It does. Great product.
Yeah, you ever play it?
No, I haven't, but I've seen you play it, and you said it's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool. Pretty
Yeah,
cool.
so-
Speaking of pretty cool, you're in the AFC East as a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
And I saw that you posted a betting slip from last night where I think you bet 10,000 or
$10 million.
10 million on the Jets to win a Super Bowl. So it sounds like you were feeling the same way I was feeling while we were watching that very late at night last night on HBO.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. And first of all, I hate two NFL teams, and it's the Colts and it's the Jets. So it's not as if I'm pulling for the New York Jets, because as soon as I posted that, it was once again ball washing Aaron and the Jets. I would never do that. That is the opposite of
Hey,
what
all
I
his
want to
teammates
do.
were doing a lot of what we.
They were ball
Absolutely.
washing too, yeah.
While I was watching, I'm like, why are they doing? Hey, whoa!
Come on.
Ho!
That's my
Slow down.
job.
We're supposed to say this
my
guy's good
job.
at football.
What the hell?
We're supposed to say this guy's a Hall of Famer.
Yes.
Not you. Because the internet says we're the only ones to say that, which has been the case.
Yes.
Because not a lot of players around the NFL. You ask any player in any sport or any like competitive person, like, hey, who's your favorite quarterback? A lot of them are going to say Aaron Rodgers.
I mean, Mahomes and quarterback. What did he say?
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
And you talk like, you ask basketball players, like, hey, who's your, that unicorn out there in Green Bay, that guy just does whatever the fuck he wants pretty much and just
And can throw the ball everywhere.
and listens to nobody really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Does
do
zone.
any of the shit that like you like every player that has ever been in a professional level is basically like, we like that guy.
Yeah.
So when the media was always saying the complete opposite, I think a lot of us were very confused by it.
Yeah.
And I think Aaron probably was as well. Like, what the fuck? Seems like everybody that knows the sport, knows anything, big fans of mine. These people that don't watched ABC, maybe The Bachelorette.
Yeah, exactly.
Bingo.
They feel the complete opposite for. So watching his whole team kind of be like, I think it was McCole Hardman was like, man, I was 7 years old when you got like I am. I'm gonna tell. I think Sauce said I'm gonna tell my kids.
No, it was McCole Hardman. He said, I
same
can't wait to tell my son I played with you. He's 6 months old right now, like I can't wait until he's 15 and I can tell him I played with you.
But think about what that is for Aaron.
Yeah.
Like what's that doing to Aaron? For a long time, just kind of getting. Remember last year was a full article about his hand signals are too difficult to remember. And these Hackett's like, hey, every play needs you paying attention. Like they're putting it. The expectation is like boom.
It's high.
Into the weapons. Credit there in New York, they're like, yeah, all right, here we go.
Good.
Yeah.
Garrett Wilson's like, he's gonna help me become a superstar.
Yeah,
Right.
bingo.
It's gonna make me a superstar. Instead of being like, he does this thing with his hand, and it's like, I don't see it, and it's like, he just told me it yesterday, so.
It's too complicated. He needs to change it.
This guy needs to calm it down a little bit. Garrett Wilson's like, fuck, more hand signals, the better.
Yeah.
Whatever you need from me, let's do it. It feels like they have all the pieces. I think that's what was being displayed last night.
Yeah, and to your point about like the players talking about it, especially with the media, Al Woods, the D tackle, he was talking to. It wasn't Quinton Williams; it was another defensive lineman, and he actually pulled. Solomon Thomas. He pulled the boom mic down and was like, "Hey, whatever they say about Aaron on the media is bullshit. He's so fucking cool." So like that aspect of the team.
Aaron didn't watch, so allegedly, because I sent him a text last night. Whenever he said, DeMarcus Ware's singing the fucking national anthem.
Yeah.
That was funny.
Yeah.
So awesome.
That was like him and Randall Cobb sitting next to each other, like.
That one caught me off guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sent him a text. I'm like, hilarious. And I put the quote in there. And then I got a text back like 35 minutes later. And he was like, I didn't see it. How was it or whatever? I don't know if they were in meetings or if they were in the middle of something. And this morning I texted him. I'm like, well, I think everybody has bet on you guys to win the Super Bowl. So pretty good episode.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know when I'll hear back from him or if he'll watch it. But I think all of his fears or their fears about what could potentially come from a Hard Knocks episode, after episode 1, they're all like, all right, let him in. I mean,
Here we go.
they want to come in here and not kill me or kill Aaron. That'd be great. But the team is just like
Yeah.
They're all in.
I mean, the defense is
one half of the hammer. Dahn. Cowboys.
defense was number 2 last year, and they only got better. They only added pieces. They are so fucking good. So even if Rodgers wasn't there, they were still going to compete. But Rodgers is there, and I thought about this the other day. And if the O-line's okay, then so Brady goes down to Tampa Bay, and they had the number 1, number 2 defense. They won a Super Bowl. Stafford goes out to L.A. They had an incredible top 5 defense. They win the Super Bowl. Rodgers goes to the Jets. They have a top 5, top 2 defense.
Peyton, you said Peyton to Denver.
That was the next one. Yeah. That too. Like all these older quarterbacks who have gone to places, I don't know if this was strategically or not, but they went to places that had incredible defenses and they were young offenses with weapons that they've just made so much better. It just feels so similar if the O-line can protect him.
No, Pac-Man, that defense is so good.
Yeah.
Tough division.
Yeah, very
Tough conference.
Yep.
Tough.
Right? Like whenever I said watching Hard Knocks, the Jets going to win the Super Bowl, I had Bengals people coming at me.
Sure.
I had Chiefs people coming at me.
Bills.
I had Bills people coming at me. And then I was just like looking at that and I'm like, oh damn, like that's only in the AFC there.
Yeah.
That is, and that's only some of the teams that are able to go there. But if you have a great defense, championship defenses are needed to win a championship.
Yeah.
And it doesn't show up till it shows up, even if it's like the divisional round of the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like if a team's defense can kind of skirt by for a long time and they're not a championship caliber defense, it's going to show up. Normally in the playoffs, it's going to be a loss, and they're going to be like, oh, what a good season. But the people in the building knew that their defense wasn't good enough to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Probably. Like in the building. There, it's like, I think Saleh said it when he said, like, this is the best quarterback I've had. Like, he knows his defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl. It's always been the other side that we haven't been able to keep up with, and now they got it.
But
Pac, that team's spirit's got to be so high.
Yeah, and defenses-wise, they got superstars. They played really good last year. They got C.J. Mosley, Sauce Gardner, Quincy Williams, DJ Reed. So they got the guys that can get it done on defense. Like Tom said, they was top 2. But if you go back and look at that play where Aaron Rodgers just had on the opposite side of the hash, it's amazing. Like those quarterbacks that you named, they probably just as smart as Aaron Rodgers is, but they didn't have the arm strength that Aaron Rodgers had back when he started, and seems like he haven't lost a damn step right now. That is the worst ball to throw. If you're in the game and you're running back shoulder on this top field up here, if he throw this ball late, this should be an interception, man.
99
This is a fucking dart. Like, that's perfect positioning.
Well, and also hands popping when it's getting there.
Yeah.
That's not like, that's not just getting there.
Pillow.
Get it.
Yeah, that is
Yeah.
You know, that ball is going through that guy. Yeah. And it from Tahoe, getting it, we got a chance to see him, you know, in Lake Tahoe.
Yeah.
I don't think he was doing the nose hold.
He was not.
No.
Just AJ.
He swam all the way to the end of the dock.
Who, Aaron?
Aaron did, yeah.
And then he got up and walked out, and it was freezing cold, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
But he also had his body guru.
He did.
That's right.
And from last year when we saw him at Tahoe to this year at Tahoe, obviously much better vibes and everything like that, and an energy and excited to be, you know, a New York Jet. And I think anytime there's some change, there's a refreshing feeling about proving yourself again, all that.
Yeah.
But he is
Probably.
he is
Incredible
in-
shit.
Jocked.
He is really jocked right now, like great shape. And he knows it. It's a full focus. And I don't think there was ever a worry about his arm or a conversation about his arm one time.
Yeah.
Like one of the most talented ball throwers of all time.
Yeah, I've
like,
ever seen.
Just the most talented football thrower of all time. I'd assume that you put baseball people in there, and I bet you cricket, there's somebody that wants to fucking come in.
sure.
Some dog.
But just like throwing balls as a whole. This guy's one at Tahoe, super jocked, takes a foam football from Lake, puts in window pretty much at house. I don't know, probably like a 58-yard throw with a foam ball or whatever. Tight spiral, just right into it. And it was like, oh, he did that on purpose so we would see it, I assume. But also he just did that still. He is, I think, physically at the best place he's been in a long time in his mind. Mentally, I think the best place he's been in a long time. Defense, the best defense he's had
In a long time.
ever or a long time. Yeah. It's like everything's kind of stacking up, but the AFC is difficult. That X that I put up there, that tweet that I put up there,
Right. Post.
was just like full recognition. Like this could be
Some good football.
this could be a championship team.
100%.
But
And, like,
the AFC is fucking
Stock.
it is. But even when you look at last year with the Jets, like I decided because all these people were saying that there's no chance they're going to be good just to look. They were 6-3 at the bye. They finished 1-7. So it's not as if they were out of it the entire season. And then they had 5 losses where they scored less than 10 points. Like, do you think that Rodgers and the Jets offense is going to score less than 10 points 5 times alone?
Well, Hackett, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
I think he went over last night.
yeah.
I think Hackett went over last night.
Until he said, naked clowns.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a tough.
Yeah,
psych
well,
out.
Yeah,
They should have
especially
edited that out.
referencing basketball and that being the
I think Aaron just wanted to get basketball on the show.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yep.
You know, there were certainly some things last night where Aaron was
But
like,
Hockey was jocked.
gold member.
need to get this on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah. A full serious breakdown of the Austin Powers Gold member,
Right.
where he eats, what he likes to do.
Yeah.
Like,
Goal and genitalia.
there's a couple things where Aaron is obviously just being,
Yeah,
ridiculous.
fucking around. Yeah.
Yeah, and getting basketball on there, I feel like he feels like an immense amount of pride.
Yeah.
That the world is reintroduced to us, a movie that I assume he believes is criminally underrated.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Which is why he brought it up. Naked Clowns, they could have edited that.
For sure.
Probably should have.
Yeah, because that scene was a little bit, you could have just cut that part out.
Yeah.
And he still would. Nathaniel Hackett, though, pretty jock.
Pretty
He
job.
is, properly.
Goatee, I don't understand.
Got to get rid of it.
Good energy.
Loved his energy. though.
Good,
Yeah.
looks like a pirate.
As I was watching it,
Pirates
I
are
was like,
cool.
what did Russell hate about this? That's what I kept,
Thinking.
I kept thinking, like, what is.
Yeah, because
so,
he's high energy.
That is a good point.
like, as I was watching it, I was like, so Russell and this did not get along somehow. Like, and now, granted,
Wow.
is this how he acted with Russell versus how he's acting with Aaron? Because he and Aaron know each other very well.
Yeah.
And they're friends. Who knows?
Just an OC.
But it is fascinating from what you hear from like Sean Payton and how you view like how last year went, and then how Russ and him seemingly were never on the same page. Russ allegedly had his own coach undercutting
Yeah.
Hackett and everything like that. And then you're watching it on Hard Knocks and you're like, this guy seems like a guy that
Know what the hell he doing?
just a classic coach though.
Pretty awesome.
Connor kind of said there though too, like, and we talked about this with Saleh when he went from DC to the head coach, where he lost all of his happiness basically. So maybe that like Hackett wasn't the same guy as a head coach.
Yeah, maybe. And
You guys
Power
talk
does
about
different things too.
You guys
Right.
talk about all the time, like these guys that become head coaches, they think they act as if they're supposed to act,
How
or they
they
think
think.
they're supposed to act, and not who they actually are.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's a problem.
That is.
Because everybody, now, here's another
You
thing. I
lose
saw
the
this.
locker room real quick like that.
Bingo.
And,
Because everybody in the locker room's like, okay. Fugates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right
It's
here.
all bullshit.
He is capping.
Yeah, this is a yep.
Straight capping.
Not real.
Straight cap.
Yeah.
You're not real.
real.
Not real. That motherfucker.
That lady's going through it right now.
Yes,
Yeah,
she
they
is.
found her.
Yeah, and
Allegedly.
and they said like, here's her address. Go say hi.
Yeah,
Here's-
not great.
That's kind of fucked up.
I mean, she didn't do anything wrong. Why?
I don't know. There's a lot of people that want to question her though. She said she saw a lizard person.
did. Yeah.
So that is certainly something that people are going to want to talk to her about.
Don't tell her about Antarctica then.
A lot of stuff coming out of there, huh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Some guy down to South Pole said I did a hard year down there. Let me tell you what I found out. They're making earthquakes.
Yeah, exactly.
That guy just said, I'm going to make this up.
No.
I'm going to make this on.
Found an earthquake device.
This is an internet report.
Yeah.
This is an internet report.
Green laser shooting up to the sky.
Anyways, though, coaches have to be themselves. And Saleh, his first year as a Jet coach, we were worried that he lost his soul.
Yeah.
Remember on the sideline, he
No
was just
juice.
kind of down, no juice. It was
Lost like 30 pounds.
yeah, it was like a shit show.
Yeah.
Like in the Jets, though, it was an ugly situation. Now it looks like he's got some juice back. Seemed to be celebratory.